Breaking news. How Governor of Ondo State, Governor Akeredolu, openly rubbished federal government for banning Twitter. This Twitter saga is still very on and much on arrival. Though it was said that Twitter was banned by the federal government, through the information minister. For Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, the decision of the federal government to ban Twitter operations in Nigeria was ill thought. Despite being a member of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC), Mr. Akeredolu rubbished the federal government, saying the decision is likely to render youths jobless. The governor expressed his displeasure at the decision while speaking at a celebration of Democracy Day in Akure on Saturday. It should be recalled that Mr. Akeredolu and his counterpart in Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, last week dared the prosecution threats made by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami. They defy the Nigerian authorities' directives, suspending activities of Twitter by posting tweets through their verified account. While Mr. El-Rufai shared an opinion article by Nebosa Malik, a Serbian-American journalist, to justify the ban on Twitter, nudging the United States to learn from the move by the Nigerian government, Mr. Akeredolu posted a statement reacting to the night attack that claimed several lives in Igangan community in Oyo State on Sunday. On June 12, various state governors held a symposium to discuss matters affecting their respective states in celebration of Democracy Day. Politics Nigeria reported that various programs organized by authorities at different levels and states were boycotted by Nigerians who used the day to protest against irregularities. Yes, because it's an open condemnation. The protests were organized by civil society organizations and activists with no particular central leadership structure. They sought to express their grievances against the poor governance and the worsening insecurity in the country under Mr. Buhari's watch. While speaking during the Ondo State government celebration of June 12, Mr. Akeredolu openly criticized the federal government. Our correspondent obtained a short video clip of the governor's address where he made mockery of the APC-led government. The APC-led administration by President Muhammadu Buhari, retired. While he tried not to make his comments seem like an attack on the federal government, he wondered why the decision was made. There are many things we do a number of times that I don't know what caused the reason. Let me just leave it. Mr. Akeredolu paused. After a second, he openly expressed his mind, saying youth take advantage of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other platforms on social media to make money before the government's ban. There is youth unemployment everywhere, and we are hearing the banning of Twitter and banning that. Where do you want them to go? They also had already banned Bitcoin, exchange of Bitcoin to Naira, banning one from another social media to other, which is not palatable for the youth because there is no job. Unemployment is the order of the day, insecurity also. Why would one personal grievance affect the whole nation? If Buhari weren't a president, an ordinary man which Twitter deletes his or her post, can he boldly tell Twitter or to ban itself or move away from Nigeria, or can he tell the government to ban Twitter, which is not possible? That means there's no equal right. This government is full of nepotism and sentiment or tribalism. Mr. Akeredolu asked the crowd a rhetorical question. He said there is youth unemployment everywhere, and we are hearing the banning of Twitter and banning of so many things. Where do you want them to go? As he shook his head in disappointment at federal government, said, where do you want the youth to go? Also, this newspaper earlier reported that Mr. Akeredolu questioned the workability of a return to open grazing practiced during the First Republic as directed by Mr. Buhari. 2 weeks ago, Information Minister Lai Mohammed announced the suspension of the activities of micro-blogging platform Twitter in Nigeria. Mr. Mohammed Lai also disclosed that the federal government had ordered the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC to immediately commence the process of licensing all OTT and social media operations in Nigeria. Nigerians have since been denied access to Twitter and can only access bypassing domain restriction through a VPN, which is the virtual private network. The suspension was sequel to Twitter's deletion of President Muhammadu Buhari's controversial tweet about the civil war after some Nigerian users flagged it. The government, in its response, has accused the platform of bias against President Buhari and undermining Nigerians' corporate existence. Although the presidency says the ban is temporary and an attempt to curb fake news, human rights activists and foreign missions have berated the President Buhari-led administration for censorship, calling for a reversal of the suspension. On his part, Justice Minister Abubakar Malami had directed the Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation (DPPF) in his office to swing into action and commence in earnest the process of prosecution of violators of the federal government deactivation of operations of Twitter in Nigeria. Well, despite these directives, many Nigerians continue to dominate the microblogging platform, although the federal government and Twitter have begun talks on how to resolve their clash, but citizens believe the government went too far. If Buhari has really deemed fit to be a president, he should have played fair, because when he was being interviewed on Arise TV, Buhari was just so very sentimental. It was very obvious that in his talk, in his words, he is just a political bigot. Apart from that, in his talks, he is a genocidal president. Well, I would like you to listen to some reactions and comments below. We, your citizens, both high and low, start disobeying your laws as a president. Check if you have brains. According to this person, says the citizens, in other words, have been disobeying Mr. President's order that president should check his brain, because he is continuing to rely on the sycophants around him. Says you will be definitely led to your destruction, which means most of the cabals that are around Mr. Buhari are not being sincere with him. They are all hypocrites and sycophants. That if care is not taken, Mr. Buhari will be led to his destruction. There is an extended, corruption in this APC administration. It's Liar Muhammad, the Muslim fanatic extremist who always mislead Buhari simply because he is an illiterate. Talking about the cabals, Liar Muhammad is one of the cabals doing against the Nigerians, Yoruba man, or a sold Yoruba man to the Fulanis. Well, it says it's an act of stupidity to keep silent or become partisan to decision taken by some quota system lawyers and attorney general. Thank you for not joining in their foolish, decision. Somebody is thanking, Governor Akeredolu despite being in APC. Says Akeredolu should be thanked for not joining them, because when a learned and literate somebody talks, that means an educated person. If he talks, the difference between between an illiterate and an educated person. Well, I would like you to share your thoughts.